long list of things to hit. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the library, and it's a good story. I went over to the Woodhaven Library today, and we've got people coming in the chat room now. So I just want to say hello to everybody. And M, one of our regular chatters, just joined us. So the library, Woodhaven Library today, closed, and it's closing for renovations. Today was the last day it was open, and I wanted to make sure that I got over there and got some photographs. So I went in, took some pictures, got some before pictures, and then when this is done, we'll have some after pictures. It'll be nice. But just a little bit about the Woodhaven Library, and this goes back to a name that you've all probably heard, Andrew Carnegie, or Carnegie Carnegie Hall. You've all heard of, and he was a businessman. He gave great amount of money to charity. He was a Scottish American, which I'm very proud of. And even though I don't think they had the term Scottish American back then, he was just a Scotsman. He gave a lot of money to libraries. As a matter of fact, over the course of about 45 years, close to 1,700 libraries were built with money donated by Andrew Carnegie. They say he never really turned any town down. The last grant was made in the 1920s, and at that point, there were 3,500 libraries in the United States, and nearly half of them came from money from Andrew Carnegie. The first of the public libraries built with his money was in Scotland, and according to the sign outside of the Woodhaven Library, which I'll read it to you here, the last public library to be built with Carnegie money. The cornerstone was set in June 28, 1923, by Mayor Highland, and it was opened in 1924. So that gives a special little distinction to our library, and it's just interesting how this all came about and its place in history. I did some reading on this, and it was interesting how all the different libraries around the United States, around the world, they all tried to have very, very unique architecture. Big windows, a lot of light. All of them tried to have staircases at the front, and which the staircase symbolized your elevation by learning, by going into the place. And outside every library built by Carnegie money was a lamppost or a lantern, which was supposed to be a symbol of enlightenment. So I'd be curious to see some of the old pictures of the library to see, if some of that existed. But in any event, our library has been in need of repair for many years, and it is now closed for renovation. And we are going to be speaking about that right now to someone who's been involved in this project for quite a while. Her name is Jen Manley. She's the director of Government and Community Affairs of the Queens Library, and she joins us now. Jen, how are you?
Hey, Ed, I'm well. How are you?
Doing really good. It was I went over there today just to kind of take a look around, because even though you go in the library all the time, you're in and out, but usually when you're in, you're looking at books. You're not actually taking a look around at the building, So I want to take a look. It really is a really nice space, a nice building, and but yeah, it is in need of some love and attention, and we're really happy that that's going to happen. So maybe you could just tell us a bit what we can expect.
Sure, absolutely. I loved your history lesson, incidentally, on the Carnegie stuff. It's really fascinating, and it was the last of the 8 built in Queens of the Carnegie libraries, and it's fascinating to me because Andrew Carnegie's original intent for the libraries hasn't really changed in all these years. We still do the same, still serve the same purpose, as he intended all those years ago. But naturally, having not updated this library for years and years with new technologies, it's certainly overdue. You're right about that. So this project is actually what we started by closing today is really one of the beginning of really a phased renovation of the Woodhaven Library, because it does have significant work. It's 2 levels, as you know, and it's over 9,000 square feet. So there's a lot of space there that can be upgraded and improved. So the first part, this phase 1 of the reno, which we're starting now, one of the big things that's going to happen is it's going to get an upgrade to the circulation technology, to the customer service technology. So in sort of plain language, what that means is that when the tech is installed, people will be able to check in and check out their books and other materials by themselves. It's self-service. So it will read the technology. The computers will read the chip in the book and read the chip in your card, and then you can just check out the material without any assistance, which is a nice, efficient way to get your materials in and out, and frees up the librarians to go do other things and be on the floor and be helping people. Along with that comes a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week accessible check-in machine, which will be installed like through the wall in an atrium in the entryway of the library. So even when the library is closed, you'll be able to go there and return your books through this machine, get a receipt that says you returned it, so you don't have to, no questions about late fees or if you returned it on Saturday. The machine will check it in and give you a receipt 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So that is it's a great improvement. And then along with that comes, there'll be new circulation desks, kind of a new layout inside the library. Right when you go in, it'll be sort of a more pleasing layout with the circ desk right in the center. And then you're also getting a new bathroom, a new restroom on the first floor, as well as a new laptop table, which, again, back to when Carnegie envisioned the library, there were certainly no laptops and no need for Wi-Fi, and now that's growing by leaps and bounds. So one of the early improvements will be, I think you saw this the other day, the laptop table that has spots and it's all powered up through the table, so people can sit there and use, connect to the Wi-Fi and get online. So
that's
some
great.
pretty
Now
good,
that's basically
some good
the
tech
same.
upgrades.
That's the same tables, like just to set the picture for people. That's the same people where you see a lot of times in the library people sitting down reading papers and stuff. They're still the reading tables. It's just going to be dual purpose now. That's
correct. So if you want to read in the old-fashioned way, you can do that. And if you want to plug in your laptop or your other kind of device and read that way, you can do that too. So it's like a flexible space.
That's great. So that's what we're expecting in phase 1, correct?
That's correct.
Now,
so that's what we'll be doing this spring there.
Now the nice thing about this renovation, because I know when we first heard about this, listen, and I'm sure this is probably something that's a frustration in city in a number of different projects where people clamor for something. They say we want something, and then as soon as the project is going to be starting, all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, we're going to be living without something. So the thing is, the library is closing today, but there is a contingency plan for the residents of Woodhaven to have access to the library during its closure.
That is correct. And I should mention before we get any further that this project would not be possible without the support of Councilmember Crowley. Elizabeth Crowley is supporting this project with about $200,000 in allocated funds to make it happen. And there's also some state grant money in it, so we're very grateful for that. And I wanted to mention that, and also mention I know that she, as well as the Friends of the Library, Maria Concolino and Judy Close and Jerry and yourself have expressed concern when we're going to start about, especially where the children were going to go, because a lot of kids use the library after school. We have a great children's librarian there. So what we've been able to do, which is I think is pretty great, is what they're going to do is turn the lower level, like the big meeting room, into what we refer to as a swing space, which just basically means a little mini library. So there'll be adult collections, children's collections, computer access, children's areas, and adult areas, all set up downstairs, and that will be accessible to the public throughout the duration of the renovation.
That's great. Now, how long is that going to take to set up? Because that's going to be set up and opened in a couple of weeks, as you said, right?
That's the goal, yep. So what they'll do is they'll take the current collections and bookshelves and furniture and various stuff from upstairs and basically move it downstairs, get the Wi-Fi going. You know, there's a little bit of tech work that has to happen and some furniture that has to move, and they'll do the setup. And the goal is to get that done, you know, by the end of the month. We know we have school vacation coming, so we're targeting to get that set up in time for vacation. And then it will stay open through the duration of the reno.
And we're looking at sometime midsummer, the phase 1 to be completed?
You got it. That's the goal.
That's great. So that's phase 1. Now, I guess less concrete at this point, because it's going to depend on money, funding.
Correct.
Is some future phases, and what are some of the items that would be taken care of in the future phases?
Sure. So there's, like I said before, and like as you know very well, the library has a lot of needs, but it has a lot of great potential too. So a couple of things we'd like to do. I mean, we need to make it ADA compliant. So right now, the only way downstairs is by the stairs, either in the back or on the outside, and that's not great for people who have limited mobility, and even for parents with strollers is a challenge. So an elevator is on the list of things we'd like to do, along with upgrades to all the interior spaces, the children's room upstairs, as well as there's the meeting room downstairs, and there's another room downstairs which isn't very well utilized that we'd love to see made into public service space, so program space. And then, of course, it's a beautiful library, and at some point, I think for efficiency reasons, the windows were partially bricked in.
Right.
And we'd like to sort of do some work on the windows and doors eventually. One project that's a little less flashy but is very important is the replacement of the roof of this library.
Yeah, sure, that's right.
Yeah, we have the collection in this library is about 60,000 items, and it's definitely not good if they're getting rained on inside. So the roof is problematic, and we actually do have funding, again, from the City Council to replace that roof. So that will happen. That's in the pipeline for perhaps next year. And
that won't necessitate any closure. I mean, that could be done while the library is open, I'm sure.
Typically, that's often the case.
Excellent. This is real exciting because as over the last number of years, you see in the papers, you see different libraries. You see the ribbon cutting. You see the different things. You get jealous. You get jealous, and
absolutely.
And
I'm sure when I get off with you, someone else will call. What about my library?
Absolutely. That is a tough position to be in, but you handle it well, and we appreciate all the hard work that you put into this. I think it's going to really pay off, and we're really looking forward to seeing the results.
Absolutely, we are too. And again, I just really want to thank the community who's been so supportive of this, and you really do need everyone sort of coming together and saying, we want this, it's a priority, and then having folks in the city council and in state government as well who are willing to step up and put money behind it really makes all the difference. So
that's
thank
great.
You.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in and explaining this to us, and we'll spread the word, and we look forward to following the progress of the project as it moves along.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, Jen. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. That's Jen Manley, everybody, from the library system. It's really very, very encouraging. Very, very, very positive.